fix, boy, I bust up. They found a plan to make it rich. Middle finger up, for a hater in this bitch, boy, on my side. Let's get it poppin' like some high fives. I told him fuck the runner, cause I'm trying to catch the top guy. Give it up. This is Coochie Van, no doing truck. Say you got the soldier here, and we shoot it up. Niggas always capping nowadays, ain't nothing new. Pillow talking for the hoes, get clapped for acting cool. Pistol packing, double D's, and all these hoes, we in the stew. You move on.
Pro-abortion versus anti-abortion. We about to get deep here, guys. Are you ready to get real deep with no lube? All right, we're about to get real deep with no lube. Now, before we get into this, before I say anything about this, I just want to let y'all know, we're gonna skip this ad.
You are arguing for the slaughter of humans.
So before we get into this, my opinion doesn't matter. I'm not giving birth out my dick hole, so I feel like men don't really have an opinion when it comes to abortion. I ain't the one pushing out my dick hole. You know, once that pussy stretch after having a baby, that shit never gonna be the same. Sis gonna be peeing on herself. She ain't gonna be able to control her bladder. None of that. It's just not gonna be the same. Vagina not gonna be the same after that. Trying to tell you.
Beings, because you're pro-choice, and I'm standing here in where
strong word.
Fetus
You
cannot.
said killing a fetus, so it's not a strong word.
It's really not. But can I just finish my statement?
Okay. I said my name is Day. Really in this bitch, fucking on your bitch, and she sucking on my dick. I told her to chill. Okay.
Had unprotected sex.
Bring me up there too. Say no. Let me chill.
So I see we all been getting it on. About that.
The first time that I had sex, I didn't have the knowledge that I should have. I think, just I didn't know what Plan B was until I started having sex. That just maybe I missed that day in class, but that was not taught in sex ed. So I didn't know what Plan B was until I started having sex. But now I'm a lot more educated, a lot more comfortable. I'm on birth control. But obviously, birth control isn't always effective, isn't always accessible. So I understand my.
Some people be getting pregnant off of birth control, bro. You know how bad that gotta suck, bro. You taking birth control just for you to get pregnant. You know it's always that 1% chance. Even if they say it's 99% effective, it's that 1% chance. Condoms can bust, pop. You know what I'm saying? You gotta double up. You gotta make sure she on birth control. You gotta wear the condoms. You gotta pull out too. That's 3 methods right there. Bang, gotcha, bitch. All right, let's get back into this. This gonna be a long one. That's what she said.
Privilege in that.
Well, the first time that I had unprotected sex was a couple months ago with my fiance. We're both adults, and we were in a real period of grief because I had just had a miscarriage, I think about a month before, after we'd had protected sex.
The first time that I had unprotected sex was unprotected sex was with the person that I am currently married to. We got married straight out of high school. I was 18. It was a week after I graduated. And we're really happy.
She's a Christian gal.
We love the idea of having a child, currently pregnant right now.
Congratulations.
So clearly I had unprotected sex to get here.
Are you going to college, or do you have a job? How's that working?
So I mainly do activism. I try to advocate for people who are in the same position as the person inside of me right now. And I think that the value of their life is intrinsic.
I got you. You said, I might add that to the queue. That could be the next video we watch. You said family, friendlies, last video. I got you. I'm gonna add that to that's gonna be the next joint we watch.
To every fetus. So honestly, right now I'm just chilling as an activist.
Tight shit.
But do you make money?
Sometimes, if my followers give me some. Sick. Depends. When you were having unprotected sex, would you say that you would have been financially stable enough to have a child?
No.
No. Would you say you would have been emotionally ready enough to have a child?
No.
Okay. All right then.
I think I was in kind of a similar situation to you. Not so much because
Uh,
I was pressured by a partner.
This is so off topic, but the lipstick not given. Why the fuck? Who let her walk out with the blue lipstick? I'm gonna chill. I'm not trying to roast. I'm not trying to roast. Chill. I'm just saying. It's just I don't like it. Okay. I'm not roasting. I just don't like the blue lipstick or purple, whatever the color is. Magenta. I don't fucking know.
Anything like that, but because the sex ed courses that we had, like yours was lacking, were very lacking in terms of queer sexual education. And the sex I was having, I thought I didn't need any kind of protection for it because I was sleeping with people who couldn't get me pregnant.
The first time I've ever had unprotected sex, I was young enough to not know what sex even was. So I was very much manipulated and groomed by someone
Oh, I'm sorry.
in my life to think that what I was doing was
That's what I was saying. I'm not going to continue, but damn, I feel bad for her. I hope she's healing or she's healed already.
okay and normal. And that scared me because, you know, when I finally told my parents, it wasn't a really good conversation where they were like, of course they were shocked because that person is in our family.
Oh, fuck.
And they were like, that isn't real, you're just trying to get for attention kind of thing.
That's so fucked up. When I have a daughter, bro, if she ever comes to me and say someone touched her or any type of, I'm killing them, bro. And GTA, of course. And GTA. YouTube is in GTA. But, bro, if that shit happened to my door, bro, I don't care, bro. You should believe. Like, if your door comes in like, this person's touching me, or they manipulate me to having sex, or they R-word me, bro, believe your child. Listen to them. Fight for them, okay? Because in that moment, they can't fight for themselves. Come on. L parents, bro.
And
Let's get back into the reaction.
I knew that they believed me because we went to some dingy ass Walmart and bought a pregnancy test because they were like, if you are pregnant, you can't tell anyone that it's his. You have to say that we adopted another child.
What the fuck?
And you would have to keep that baby. I did not want to have a baby at a very young age. I was not emotionally ready. I was not financially ready. I was still in school trying to think, like, I have a future for myself that I want to do, you know? Fortunately, I was not pregnant.
Do you think that people can't achieve bright futures when they have children?
They can achieve bright futures if they have a child. I just knew that I wouldn't have been able to achieve that future.
Well, there are like resources available, particularly for people who are student parents, for people who are on-campus parents who have children, babies, toddlers, children of all ages. There are also resources in terms of pregnancy centers, also known as pregnancy help centers.
Like, I get that, but if someone's not ready for a child, they shouldn't have a child, bro. Like, you gotta think about that shit, bro. You force someone to have a child, bro, they could be depressed, because postpartum depression is a real thing, bro. It's motherfuckers. It's literally cases of women killing their children, bro, after that shit, bro. Come on, tighten up. I'm not here to knock anyone's religion, but I just don't understand people who condemn abortion so much, but then they be like, oh, that's a sin, that's a sin, that's a sin, but they be sinning themselves. Can we talk about it? Motherfuckers be, oh, that's a sin. But you the pastor and you cheating on your wife. But you, that's adultery. That's a big ass sin. And you preaching to the choir and everything about, oh, abortion this, abortion that. That's terrible. But why you cheating on your wife? Why you lying? You can't respect thy neighbor? Come on, let's talk about it. Come on. Chill, let me chill. I'm not trying to get too deep with y'all. But I'm about to get real deep. I'm about to dive in that bitch. You feel me? Come on.
There's thousands of them across the U.S. There's 5 crisis pregnancy centers for every Planned Parenthood. And so I think that a lot of these resources are not made known. I think that a lot of people kind of get into the situation of being pregnant and nobody's telling them about these resources, and then they think that they can't do it, and then they get an abortion that they might not have actually wanted. They felt like they had to.
Do you feel like that was your situation? Do you feel like you didn't want to have an abortion, like if it happened?
I think that because I grew up in a very conservative home, so abortion wasn't even in the picture. I wasn't even allowed to have that idea. And like thinking of it now, like yeah, there are crisis centers, but we're also going through like baby formula shortage. Like there's not even paid parental leave. So if we're going to be able to bring a child into this world, I think we should fight for more health care that is free for women or people who can give birth. And especially since I was at a very young age, I honestly just didn't know what I would do in that situation.
For me, when I started engaging in intercourse, I started out using protection. I've been volunteering with Planned Parenthood since I was about 15. When I was a junior in high school, I've had an intense passion for reproductive rights. So I immediately, as soon as I knew that that resource was accessible to me, I put myself on birth control. But unfortunately, birth control isn't the end-all be-all. And from putting myself on several forms of birth control, I realized that the adverse effects of birth control can be very, very altering.
Yes.
Currently, I'm in a very long-term committed relationship with my boyfriend, and of course, when you have someone attractive, you want to have sex with them, and he's the first person I've really started participating in unprotected sex with.
I've not had sex yet.
We could tell. Second, no,
Because of my religious ethical code and
let me chill.
moral code. I've been, I'm a Catholic. I've been raised in a Christian household, and I just don't see that as something that's beneficial or valuable to my life at this point. There's been times when I've questioned if I was ready and questioned my faith, but I've always just kind of found my way back to the church and agreeing with the church's teachings. So,
I'm not trying to say nothing, but he's such a church boy, but he seem a little. You feel me? We're not going to get too much into it. No. Chill, Ralph. You going to get me in trouble. You going to get me canceled before I even get popping. Bad John. Alright, but we getting back into the video chat.
took care as a child, and so I witnessed a lot of sexual violence there, and it's just been one of those things I almost feel like just subconsciously I've never really wanted. So I really don't see myself like living in a sexual relationship with another at this time in my life, just because it just isn't really what I feel like is right for me.
Sort of in the same boat. I'm Catholic as well, but I'm not. I haven't had sex before. It's not just because I'm Catholic. It's like there are other reasons as to why I haven't, such as pair bonding. And I think just it helps to keep the marital acts within marriage, because sex makes babies. So I think it's just good for a child to have a mother and father, because when families are sort of separated, it causes a lot of problems for children.
He's speaking facts.
Divorce, now it's like,
He's speaking facts, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, not having a mother and father can cause problems in for a child and shit. So I understand.
Surveys have shown that divorce is often worse than the death of a parent, just because it's just like, at least like when the parents pass, it's like they didn't leave you behind. So
I have two questions for you. The first one is, where did you get those surveys from?
I don't remember. It's just in passing, but
That's
I don't
fine.
really know.
The second thing I wanted to ask, you said something about sex always making babies. Well, you didn't say always. You said sex makes babies, and I would love to challenge that a little bit, because
It's not the only reason for like sex. Is just like you have the pair bonding, sort of the emotional going on between the two people, but sort of the telos, the primary purpose of it, sort of is for that. But there's other legitimate sort of secondary reasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you would say that the primary purpose of all sex is babies?
I wouldn't say all sex, because there's times where you can't conceive because like the woman's cycle, so she's not always fertile. But I think just the natural order of that act is for.
She ready to kill him. She started pressing him. I got one question for you. Fine, okay. I got a second question for you. Damn, hop off his dick. Like, to be honest, the natural order of things, if you want to get down to a basic biological and nature of things, bro, sex is to make babies. Now, does it feel good? Oh, yes, it does. That shit. Feel me?
I think what they were getting at is to not assume that all sex is heterosexual. So
Yeah, that is a pretty heteronormative view. I completely validate and respect that you don't want to have sex for you. But for those of us who can't even ever, for any reason, get pregnant during sex, I think it's a little reductive to assume that that's like the reason people would do it.
That's a heteronormative. Come on, bro. We talking about abortion. How else can you have abortions? How else can you have kids? You have to have sex with man and woman. Man and woman must have sex. Man and man can't make baby. Woman can't make baby. Like we're not talking about all the different, you know, genders or the fucking different what's the other shit? Sexualities and all that shit. We're not talking about that. We're talking about pro-abortion versus anti-abortion. So in order to talk about abortion, you have to think about the fact that a man and a woman must have sex to even have a child to have an abortion. Come on. Y'all not thinking. Come on.
I think there's also a difference between reproductive sex and non-reproductive sex.
Yeah.
Like, let's be so for real. There's so many things you can do to not get pregnant and still have sex with somebody.
I'm obviously not Catholic, but I think it's also important to remember that, you know, Catholics and people who do believe that sex should be within marriage also acknowledge that there's types of sex, like oral sex, for example, that you don't conceive children by. So I think
swallow the kid. Hold up.
Put words in your mouth, but
Make her swallow the kids. Make that bitch take a bib. I told her it's what it is. Yeah, I do my dance. Might go fuck her friends. I do my dance. I might take her to France. Hey, hold up. Wait. Hold up. Hey, we in this bitch, we in the cut. Yeah, fucking that bitch in her butt. Yeah, she waiting until I nut. Yeah, I said, baby, I ain't nothing. What? She said, boy, we was something. Yeah, baby, I'm nothing. Yo, chill. That was a little freestyle.
coitus and not other types of sex.
Yeah, because people can mean different things by sex. It's like,
It's a very general term.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Ragni, the director
Hi.
of this episode. Please like this video if you enjoy watching it and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's get back to the video. I have had an abortion.
Damn. They said, pow pow. Send them straight to the gods.
I had mine.
Hold up. Ralph, was that a W freestyle low key? Cause I was jigging on that. I said, yo, chill. Don't get me hyped, bro. Cause I will once the YouTube shit pop, bro. I will start rapping. Don't do that to me, cause then I will have the, you know what I'm saying, the funds for it. Also, Ralph, I did check out the ad thing. I gotta pay for that, and I ain't got the funds for that right now. So we gonna have to wait on that, okay?
And I've never felt shame, never felt regret. I've never even second guessed my choice. Surprisingly, my parents are Middle Eastern immigrants, and they were like very supportive. The 9 months of pregnancy isn't considered to be a challenge in its own. It's like, oh, you know, you can give the child up for adoption. Oh, there are like resources, there are crisis pregnancy centers, but those 9 months, that's still morning sickness. That's still doctor visits. I had to go to the ER in the very short time that it took me finding out that I was pregnant to getting the actual abortion, because I thought I had an ectopic pregnancy, because that's what my gynecologist told me. There are so many things to consider. I can't go to school if I'm sick, if I'm already, you know, mental health isn't something that's secure for me. And then on the top of that, I'm going to have to deal with...
Listen, I never had a problem with abortion. You feel me? I feel like if you want to get yourself an abortion, go ahead. Send them bitches to the gods. Huh?
Not you.
What you looking for, babe? Can I get a kiss?
I'm looking for my weapon.
Did you check in the car?
Yes, but I left my phone up here, so I didn't have light or anything. What is this so soon?
Damn, I got like a little bump.
Did you see where I put my weapon after you gave it to me? That's what I'm saying. I had it. I remember having it. Because I was... Bro.
thinking about this pregnancy? Are people going to judge me for being a teen mom?
Okay, so I had an abortion fairly recently. I had one about 2 to 3 days before my recent birthday last year in November. It was a very unexpected event. I remember having symptoms almost immediately. I was about 6 weeks, I believe.
Damn.
5 weeks and 7 days. I actually did not suspect I was pregnant because I had been going through some traumatic life events that threw my cycle off. My period was on average 40 days late.
Damn.
Just didn't suspect it.
Damn, it could get like that.
Alright, but I'm gonna go back downstairs. I'm getting angry.
Damn.
Bye.
Wait, babe, a period could be 40 days late.
If you have it in your body.
I don't. Yo, why? Chat, this is off topic, but my girl lost something. Why she automatically assuming I got it? She talking about some. Babe already left the stream. I can't keep doing that.
I'll entertain them while you go.
No, I gotta finish this video.
Bro, cause I know I had it.
Anything when I was 6 days late that past cycle.
My debit card.
And my boyfriend, who
And where?
In the car.
Go grab it.
It's older right now. I need it.
Oh. Well,
I can't see one that I'm on.
just go back to the car. Here, take my phone for a flashlight. I'll look later, but I'm streaming right now.
I was confiding in at the time and telling about my current bodily circumstances had a feeling beyond me, the woman in this equation who shouldn't know what's going on. He was the one that prompted me to go get a test because he felt that I was pregnant. And when we found out, it was a shock. I'm the type of person when in my relationships I make very clear my positions on how I am with abortion and pregnancy and child rearing. I'm very transparent in that matter because there should be no room for error in that case. But that's
Facts.
because I'm fortunate enough to be educated in that manner. I'm a volunteer with Planned Parenthood, so I knew the resources available to me. And at that time, when I did conceive, it was not when I was on birth control. And so partially, I take responsibility for the circumstances that led to the conception of that pregnancy. Although I'm very grateful and I'm very appreciative that I had access to this form of health care, it was something that I grieved heavily. It was something that my boyfriend grieved heavily. We were not ecstatic to have done this. We were not happy that we had to make this choice. But because of our plans as individuals, as adults, and our life plan is to get married, is to complete school, and to maximize our chances of being the parents that we want to be, I felt it irresponsible to be selfish and say, well, I want a baby and I don't want to make that hard choice to terminate. But when you think...
That's a good decision. Sometimes abortion is the best decision. Like, let's be honest, a lot of motherfuckers out there should have been aborted. And that's a crazy statement. You're probably like, Dave, you gotta chill. You can't be saying that. But it's the truth. A lot of motherfuckers should have been aborted. So if some of your motherfuckers' moms would have aborted you, the world would be a better place. And I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want no one coming after me. But it's a few people who should have been aborted. Just saying. Not me, though, because y'all love me. You know what I'm saying? I bring y'all laughter and shit like that. I'm making you blush right now. You probably like, Dave, stop talking to me like that. It's alright.
Of somebody else, and that would have been another individual, you have to think what's best for them if they were to be born. And I'm not in a position to where I could emotionally, financially, nor physically provide for a child. Whereas if I would do the hard thing now, later on down the line, when I improve my circumstances, I can be the mother that I want to be instead
She
of
talking that shit right now. Y'all need to listen.
And that person who did not ask to be put in that situation.
I commend you for coming in front of like a camera and saying that.
Yeah. My parents don't even know either.
Yeah, mine don't either. I need to figure out a way to tell them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna block Jubilee from their YouTube.
Pause.
I just want to say, first of all, thank you for sharing those experiences with us, because I could hear in your voice, even though I couldn't see your face. It's difficult to share. And I'm so sorry that you had that period of grief and those experiences. I've miscarried twice, and taking the abortion pill, I know, though it is a different process, it's not dissimilar in the function of it to a miscarriage. But you did say something that I thought was interesting. You said you think it's selfish to bring a child into a situation where you know that maybe you're not economically stable, or you're not maybe in the best emotional state to have a child. And my mother has 5 children. And when I was born, my father was leaving. He was abusive.
He went to go grab the milk.
And we were on food stamps. She was in college. She was with...
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with food stamps, baby. You feel me? I'm a real trench baby. You feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with no food stamps. Listen, that shit come in handy. You feel me? You swipe that bitch, you buy all the food you want. Feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of food stamps. Ain't nothing wrong if you don't really got if you're not financially stable. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a little assistance for the government. Come on, praise. Can we praise the food stamps now? Can we thank the Lord for food stamps now? See, you're not hearing me now. I said, come on, can I get an amen for food stamps? I said, let me get an amen for food stamps. I said, y'all not understanding. When there's no food in the house and you don't have no money, and the government sends you that on the 10th of the month or the 11th, it's really depending what you get. I'm sweating now. Come on, I need a towel now. Cause I'm really preaching. Ain't nothing wrong with a little food stamps, a little welfare. If you need it, you need it. Come on, can I get an amen? Bro, I need to chill. Bro, someone's gonna clip that, bro. I'm gonna clip that shit myself before anyone else can clip me. See, you gotta prove that you can't get canceled first. You feel me? You gotta put the content out there, okay? And just let it work for itself. You feel me? Come on. but let me say amen for food stamps. Come on.
Waiting tables and sweeping under chairs when she was in labor with me. So I want to
Fire,
sympathize
Mom.
with that and say I know exactly that kind of economic struggle, that emotional struggle that a lot of women are in. But I don't think it's fair to say that people who are in poverty or people who might have mental health or emotional issues are selfish for bringing children into those situations. Because I think that you can still have and love a child in those situations.
Facts.
And I don't think that having children is something that we should reserve for the wealthy, for the people who don't have mental health issues.
Okay.
I don't think it's selfish for people who are not in those positions of privilege to have children.
I kind of agree and disagree with that. Like I feel like, okay, let me phrase it like this. I understand if you're having kids and you're below you're at the poverty line or below the poverty line, but it's if you keep just pumping them bitches out, why you pumping kids out like they a piece of candy? Don't be doing that now. Like, it's okay maybe to have 1 or 2. It's okay to have 1 or 2 kids. You feel me? If you don't really got the money like that, that's cool. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Your pussy pop. But what I'm saying is, don't be having like 8 kids and you ain't got the money for 8 kids. Now you drawing, cause 2 of them kids about to starve. Cause I'ma get mine. I'ma eat. That's how I would. If I had 7 brothers and sisters, bro, just know I'm not the one that's starving. Feel me? Trench baby shit. Come on. Survival of the fittest.
Rich for the white, for those who are in a position.
Right. So I just want to quickly respond to you, and there's a reason why I included my personal statement. It's because that's a personal belief that I ascribe to myself. I don't think generally that it is selfish to bring children into your circumstances. I retract myself from in putting my personal beliefs onto other people's experiences. I only speak from how I feel because I'm the king of my own fate.
Period.
And in the same way that your mother mother chose to have 5 children. I chose not to. But I don't want to ever take that away from anybody. I think if you feel like you have the means and you have the willpower to be a mother, to be a father, you do that. But that doesn't give you the right to determine for other people that they should also do the same.
Well, I think that's kind of ironic, personally, because I feel like that's exactly the point of the question. It's whenever a person decides to have an abortion, whenever a doctor decides to perform an abortion, whenever a medical professional prescribes an abortion pill, they are making a choice for that child and pushing that onto the unborn person. Then they are saying that the unborn person, you don't deserve to live. You don't have the right to live. You are not privileged enough to live. You are not privileged enough to live. You are not white enough to live.
What about the woman though? Like that.
Like I don't get that. Like the baby can't. The fucking that shit not even a person yet. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. Motherfucker can't think, can't eat. Well, I mean they can't. They are technically consuming energy because through the umbilical. You know what I fucking mean. But motherfucker can't even function in the world. You feel me? Like, come on. That bitch 6 weeks. Y'all need to chill. Come on. Tighten up. And and then I don't like I'm a black person, obviously. You see me, I love my melanin and everything, feel me, tight shit. But I don't feel like you can. I hate the fact that she keeps bringing up oh, you're not white enough to do this. No. If a black person don't want to have a kid, bro, because generational curses and all that shit, bro, like me right now, I know I'm not here at the right point in my life where I could have a child. I know that. I'm not where I want to be or where I can be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to have a kid right now, okay? Does that mean if I want kids? Of course I want kids. Now, if the love of my life got pregnant today or tomorrow, and she wants to keep it, I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, it's her choice to whether or not she wants to keep the kid. Like, yeah, we both took part in conceiving it, but she gonna have to push that fat ass head out her vagina. Not me. You don't see... Now, it would be a different... Like, that's why I feel like men don't have a right to say anything. Because if you was pushing a fucking kid out your dick hole, then okay, maybe you could say something. But you're not pushing no kid out your dick hole. Come on, let's tighten up.
Like, I've had this conversation with so many pro-life people, and it's always, oh, the fetus, the embryo, this unborn life. And I'm like, what about me? But I was actually going through it. You can have all these hypotheticals about you're pushing this onto the unborn life. First of all, they never existed. They're not aware of their existence. It's not a hypothetical about what they could have become or you know, you're not giving them the right to life. They never existed.
First of all, they existed. Scientifically, an unborn fetus matches all of the qualifications that NASA has for a living individual organism. Secondly, I'd like to say, what right does anybody have to mitigate the outcomes of their own mistakes by oppressing another human being inside of them, by using unjust violence and excessive force against a peaceful being inside of them?
What about rape or incest?
I got pregnant from rape. 4 years ago, I got pregnant from rape. I was raped for years of my life. I have physical symptoms of that. I have...
Also want to say, I hope she's able to heal now. I hope she's living a better life. I would never want anyone to experience that, to be taken advantage of in that such a way. I feel like women should just have the right to abort. And the fact that men are the ones making the laws, and you women who sign on to the laws too, fuck y'all, cause y'all ridiculous to me. Come on, we getting deep. We not even halfway there yet. We still getting deep. I'm talking about we deep in that bitch. Come on.
Reproductive issues as a result of that. But I think it's important to say that babies like my daughter Rachel, as I talked about before, and babies like my daughter Mira, who I got pregnant with consensually, are the same. They're DNA-wise, there is nothing different in the DNA, the human DNA, between a baby who's conceived in rape and a baby who's conceived consensually.
So you're telling women that they should be having their children? Are you going to make that decision for women that are raped just because your experience, you think that it ended up being a good idea for you to have these children? Are you then going to stand here and say that all raped women should have their children?
Are you going to stand here and say that children who are conceived in rape are somehow different than children who are conceived consensually?
Because I don't see a
Then why are you
difference.
bringing it up?
I would also say that abortion is not evidence-based care for rape victims. There's no research that shows that the outcomes of rape victims getting an abortion is better than those who do not. So if we want to go purely based off of medical science and evidence-based care,
No.
yeah.
I will say the fact that we do have statistical evidence that shows that women who have access to abortion and in societies where abortion is accessible, there is an overwhelming decrease in the amount of abortions obtained, and there's also an increase in the economic, emotional, and physical advancements of the people who have access to that care. And I will acknowledge, because I do think that what was inside of me, what was inside of you, what was inside of you, I personally believe it is a life. It is. I mean, I held mine in my hands, but to equate that to me, an already birthed human being, this thing, I have a photo of it in my phone. I was going to bring my ultrasound as well, but I thought that would be triggering for some people. But what I possessed in my hands, when I took it out of my pants, when I expelled it from my body, I think it is ludicrous to equate that to me. There was no head, there was no arms, there was no legs, there was nothing there.
How far along were you?
I was 5 weeks and 7 days.
You were 5 weeks and 7 days.
Yes. And I had the
Do
privilege.
you know that at 5 weeks a baby has a heartbeat?
It does not.
First of all,
It does not.
It has a 2-chambered heart.
no, heart cells can beat in a petri dish if you remove it. Heart cells, it's electrical impulses, but I mean, when we talk about life, and this is my personal opinion, I don't think when you draw the conclusion of what is life, I don't think that is a legal question. I think that is a moral and philosophical argument. And when we try and establish what is life, I mean, there are plenty of instances where we acknowledge that there is life, and yet we make decisions.
One thing, I just have a side thought. I really be replying to what they be saying like I'm there in the room with them. I be getting heated. Because this black bitch right here, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call her a black bitch. She's just a bitch. But this bitch right here, bro, she get on my nerves. She like, oh, this and the third. Like, bro, if a woman want to have abortion, it's because they thought it was the right decision for them. And it may have been. Or it may have not have been. But that's their choice, bro. Like, if a woman is R word and she doesn't want to have that child, don't make that woman have a child, bro. She shouldn't have to. What about the little girls who get pregnant because they were groomed and R word and all that shit, bro? That's not fair to them. Come on, tighten up. You could tell, like, I feel like that comes from a place, like, even though she's a black woman, I feel like that still comes from some type of form of privilege, like, to be like, oh, well, it's still a heartbeat, this and third. Like, bro, that fucking religious shit, it gets on my nerves sometimes. And I'm not here to hate on anyone's religion. I'm here to, like, just express what I've seen. It don't make sense for me to this, bro. It's a lot of shit you're not supposed to do in the Bible. I'm about to talk to them, Ralph. I'm about to talk to them. I'm really here. It's a lot of shit in the Bible you're not supposed to do. But motherfuckers still do it. You telling me, in the Bible, do you know you're not supposed to eat pork? Ha, got y'all asses. A lot of Christians, I bet, didn't know that. I bet a lot of Catholics didn't know that either. You're not supposed to be eating no swine. You thought that was a Muslim thing? No, buddy. The pig is one of the most filthiest animals in the world. They don't have sweat glands. You're not supposed to consume that animal. But you didn't know that. That's the problem I have with, like, overly religious people. It's because they follow what they want to follow. If you're not following every single thing the Bible says, then you have no opinion on talking about the Bible and shit. Or religion or what. Like, that's my opinion. You're not supposed to wear multiple different fabrics. Come on. I'm really talking to y'all. Y'all fake ass, fucking religious people, bro. I'm really talking to y'all. Motherfuckers be eating swine. They want to get mad at someone because they gay. How you going to disown your family because they gay? Aren't you supposed to love your person? You talking about you hate your neighbor because they gay. But in the Bible, I remember it says, love thy neighbor. Come on. And who has the final say to judge? You cannot judge. You're not the man above. And I don't really believe in any religion or anything like that. But I'm just saying what I've learned from the Bible. How I've taken that shit and how I processed it. It's like, bro, in the Bible, God's the only one who has the last say, has the right to judge you. Nobody can judge you except that man. Come on, I'm really talking to y'all. You're not listening. Y'all not listening. And for the motherfuckers who believe who are anti-abortion, bro, stupid as shit. Stupid as shit. Come on, we're gonna get back into it.
For them. When people are brain dead, we acknowledge that there is life there, and yet they are dead. I feel like when you try and say, well, this is life, so therefore it is deserving of rights, we extend more rights to someone who is hooked up to a machine, keeping them breathing without any conscious experience, and we extend to them more humanity than a woman and her body. And my argument is simply bodily autonomy. I think in no circumstance shall we force somebody, should the state, I should say, should the government compel somebody to use their body against their will, even if they are personally responsible for the individual. It's the reason why, even if you have a child and that child needs you for bone marrow or blood transfusions, the state cannot compel you and hook you up to a machine against your will to force you to keep that individual alive. And I think and when we live in a democracy and we prioritize human rights, you have to put bodily autonomy above and preserve it, regardless, even if you were a drunk driver and your irresponsible, illegal actions led to the harm of another person. The state cannot put you in a position where your body must be used as a resource against your will. I think it is a violation.
Okay, first,
what you would like
firstly, I asked you about evidence-based care involving rape victims.
Okay.
Not economic outcomes after a rape.
I wasn't arguing off the rape.
Well, yeah, well, as I said, you said, yes, we do have statistics, and then you brought statistics that had nothing to do with what I said. I would also like to say that the whole bodily autonomy argument, it doesn't hold up. Pregnancy is ordinary and healthy care 99% of the time.
Cap.
Pregnancy is not comparable to hooking you up to a random person. Your offspring is your child. They are genetically and emotionally.
We're gonna look that up because I don't think this bitch know her facts. Let's see. We're gonna look this up. It's not 99%. I've seen some places say 80, some say 92. You fucking lie. You making them statistics up. I got your ass. I looked it up. I got your ass. You a lying bitch. You a lying bitch.
Emotionally related to you from the moment they are inside of you. My baby is literally grimacing right now inside of me. They can make squint faces. So it's not even comparable, the relationship between a child and the relationship between a rando. But you do not get to mitigate the outcomes of your choices by violently ending the life.
It's not violent. I don't think it's violent.
You are responsible for bringing into dependency.
Even if I invited someone into my own home, a friend, a family member, I have the means, if I choose, if I tell them I do not want you there, by my own choices, I allow that person into my home, into my space, into my domain, and then I change my mind and I rescind my consent. We have the ability, it's called self-defense. And I'm nowhere near arguing that pregnancy, let me clarify now before you jump to conclusions about what I'm saying. We have no issue with it.
It's just analogy. Dumb people don't get analogies.
Those arguments, even when you put yourself and you put another person to a state of dependency, when you invite them into your home, you have the means to remove them. And I think when it comes to your body, and I'm just arguing in terms of the state, because there's a lot of things that I disagree with in terms of like people smoking cigarettes, because we have evidence that shows secondhand smoke kills. You can kill somebody from the means of you having an addiction to cigarettes. But should we punish that person for the choice that they made simply because they...
Can I ask something? What about the child inside of you?
There was... What I passed in my hands was not a child, and I think it is very disingenuous to say what I held in my hand is the you, is any of you. It just wasn't.
What was it?
An embryo. It's like
Well,
a clump of
What's an
cells.
embryo? What is an embryo?
It's a clump of cells.
Well, an embryo is just a term
It's an
for
organized
the
thought.
stage of
It's not the same. So when we talk about the...
in the process of entire.
Let's look up the definition of an embryo, cause these bitches getting on my nerves. It says Google says an unborn or unhatched offspring in the listen, an unborn or unhatched offspring in the process of development, particularly a human offspring during the period from approximately the second to the eighth week after fertilization, after what is usually termed a fetus, a thing at a rudimentary stage that shows potential for development. Come on, it's just the early stages of development. In my opinion, send that bitch up. Come on. Kick that shit to the curb.
Their human life.
Right, I agree.
So it is still like
It's a human life. So it's just
But is the egg unfertilized? Is that a human being?
no, because fertilization.
Hold on. One at a time. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
So an egg is distinct from an embryo because an embryo is a genetically distinct whole organism. It's not merely just a part like skin cells, egg, sperm. So you can tell that because if you were to apply the net test, so like any amount of nutrition, any environment, or any amount of time, like an embryo will develop into a mature member of the species, but sperm, eggs, skin cells, tumors, they're not going to develop into a whole organism, so it's not the same thing.
Oh yeah, of course, I do. I absolutely agree. I think an embryo is a stage of development, but I don't think you afford that stage of development the same human rights that you would a full-grown human being. It's the reason why we make a distinction between children and adults. A child can develop into an adult. Do we automatically ascribe them? You can drink, you can vote. Well, they are not that yet. And why make that distinction? But then say,
How does that give us the authority to kill the child?
give you the authority.
First of all, you don't have the authority. You're a man. You don't got that authority. Come on, let's talk about it.
But kill a child. But I think if that the argument that I'm making is, I feel like there's a fundamental difference between something being attached to you, reliant on your resources, and something being dependent on you.
You gonna abuse me on stream? You gonna hit me on? I'm just playing, chat. Don't take me serious, cause then y'all gonna be like, oh, she Krishan Rocks. No, she not. Chill. Blueface, baby.
For other types of resources beyond your physical body. It's the reason why I'm making a reference to blood transfusions and organ donations, because that is directly attributing what your body needs to survive to give to somebody else to help them live, as opposed to a child that is already born that simply needs your labor and financial resources to keep them alive and support their already existence and living on their own.
But when we're talking about the value of human life, I don't think it's at all fair to say that an unborn child is worth more than their mother, or who would be their mother. I don't think it's fair to say that.
Facts, cause you don't even know that little nigga yet. Let's think about it. Like this argument I have. So I was talking to my girl one day, and she was like, if you had to choose between, like, say if she was pregnant and I had to choose between a baby and her, I said I would choose her because I don't know that little nigga yet. Why the fuck would I choose that little nigga I never met? Tripping, come on, fuck you. And then watch when my future kids see that, be like, damn, that's how he was feeling? Yes, that's how I was feeling. Picking my lady every day, all day. Fuck you talking about? Come on.
The mother's needs and her state of life, or their state of life, don't matter in that situation, because they do. And it's not this, like, killing a fetus for fun. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to be in that situation or to have an abortion. But, like, you can't just act like we always should be prioritizing this what isn't even a child yet.
But none of us are saying we're prioritizing the child over the mother. We're saying,
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
What happens during pregnancy?
what happens during pregnancy? The mother is trying to think of the word.
Gestating.
The mother is giving life to the fetus. The mother is supporting the fetus's life
Exactly.
as it grows. And so what we're saying is that the child and the mother should be equally supported.
Why?
We're not saying that they are. We're saying they will.
So supporting the financial needs of a mother is a need that can be handled through nonviolent means, whereas you guys are advocating for violent means to end the life of a person.
It's not
violent. It is violent to rip, suction, starve. It is violent to take limbs off of people. It is violent to induce a heart attack. Yeah, and you starved your embryo. That's what happened. That's how the pill works.
You probably did that in labs somewhere. That's how
I
you
do that.
But it's a human being. I feel like we keep getting away from the fact
It's not,
that
though.
but
There's nothing to
science
get away
states
from.
that life begins in conception. It's a human embryo.
Science does not say that. I always says that.
I have a question.
I have
Don't get a bunch of pro-choicers and pro-lifers together.
I'd rather abort a child than put them through the foster
Facts.
system.
Hear them out though. I agree though. I agree with this statement. She the only one to go.
And this is like I didn't consider this until I myself was put into that situation where it's not just get pregnant, put the kid in the foster system. It's that again, like I said, 9 months of pregnancy, and I would not go through those 9 months of pregnancy, even though if I had the option of giving my kid up to the foster care system, like you have to still go through those 9 months of pregnancy. It's not just you can just drop it off.
So I feel like first, before we get into the conversation, we need to establish how foster care works. As someone who is in the system, I understand how the system works. As someone whose parents were foster parents, I understand the system is not something you can willingly just register your child for, not like the adoption system. Foster care is a system of the government to protect children who are in unsafe environments. So they see the child as being in an unsafe environment. My mother was a drug addict.
Maybe she should have. She should have. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it.
We were homeless multiple times. My mother was severely addicted to.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like at that point, like, I'm not saying he should have been aborted, but I'm saying, like, why have a child if you're going to be addicted to drugs, alcohol, all this shit, whatever the case may be, and still put that kid through that shit? You foster care, fucking got to see their mom passing out and shit. Like, bro, no, that shit scars a child, bro. Now you're creating a adult who has so much trauma that they don't know how to unpack. Come on, bro. That's why abortions are a good thing. Come on, we talking to y'all.
Alcohol, just not at a time in her place where she could really have a family, but she did have a family, and so my grandmother came and watched us, and my grandmother over time just really was convicted because she was a devout Christian woman. Of the reality that this is no environment for a child to grow up in, and she wanted to do something, if anything, to help us have a better life. And she knew financially she could not take us in, but she wanted to do something. So she called CPS, and CPS came and took me and my siblings away. Now, did I have the best experience of foster care? Absolutely not. I still live today with bruises and sores on my body from foster care. And I was in there up until I was 19 months old. I was a baby, but it still affects me to this day. And I really struggle when I hear people say that, like, you know, a child in foster care is somehow less valuable because of the way the government.
I wouldn't say
foster care because I just don't think that's a correct.
So I wouldn't say that they're less valuable or anything. Like, I know there's foster care children or kids who are adopted or great people or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is the foster care system sucks, bro. Like, the system sucks. The shit you see and hear, bro, motherfuckers, you know there's motherfuckers out there who only do foster care because of the money they get. Like, come on, bro, this shit sucks. Foster care sucks. Like, the government sucks, bro, when it comes to that. It's not enough resources. Like, I'm about to go on a tangent, but we rather put all this money into the military, police, and all that. But we got kids who can't even eat sometimes, bro. We got kids don't know when their next meal coming or where they're going to get a next hot shower from or if they're going to be able to lay their house out or if they got worried about being sexually assaulted. We rather, as a government, we rather spend our money on that shit instead of working within. We rather not see the next generation come up. I feel like, so for all the motherfuckers, all the lawmakers who are banning abortion and shit, okay, add money to, add a budget to foster care, add a budget to adoption and all that shit. Go ahead, go. You want to advocate? See, that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me. All these lawmakers and politicians who want to, you know, ban abortion and stuff. Why do they never mention putting money into foster care, or why do they never mention putting money into adoptions systems or agencies and all that. Why do they never mention that? Like, really think about it. Like, I'm not trying to go like, oh, it's a conspiracy or nothing like that. I'm trying to. I want you to ask yourself that question. Why do these politicians do that, but they can't? They don't have any laws, or they're not advocating for adoption or foster care or anything like that. Why are they not doing that? Why they are not making the foster care system a stronger background check? Why motherfuckers who on drugs be able to get foster children and just collect the check or beat on them? Why is that the case? Why are we not have? Why don't we have a better system for foster care? Like, I'm just asking questions. Like, if you're seeing this video after I'm done streaming or whatever, I just want you to answer, like, give me your opinions in the chat, because I really want to know, like, why motherfuckers are not doing it. If you're a politician advocating for abortion, okay, then make the foster care system better, make adoption better. Don't make the foster care system hell for children. Come on, like, fuck it. I'm running for president. In the year 2020, in the year 2059, I don't fucking know. 2060, I don't fucking know what year it would be.
Opinion to have. To treat a child as less valuable is dehumanizing, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm 1000% against dehumanization of any human being whatsoever.
I don't think anyone is saying that foster care kids are less valuable, though. Like, you didn't mean that, did you? No, nobody's saying that. I just wanted to make that clear. Do you have a uterus?
I do not have a uterus.
You do not have a uterus. So I'm not saying that your opinion is invalid or that you should not be included in this discussion, but I'm saying that that's important to keep in mind, is that you could never be in this position of having to...
I'm trying to think what my slogan would be. You know how every politician have a slogan? My shit wouldn't be "Make America Great Again." My shit would be "Make America Livable." Come on. Like, I would advocate so much shit, bro. But that's another thing. The president can't really do shit, bro. That's where they be fucking our head up, and we all fall for it. I even fall for it too. It's the presidents are not the one who has control. It's the Senate, the House, Congress, all the motherfuckers. Those are the motherfuckers you really need to be paying attention to and voting for. The president is like the fucking poster boy who may be able to sign on one or two things, but no, they can't do shit. But anyways, I'm still gonna run for president. We gonna make America livable again. Make America great again. That's crazy. I'm let me be clear. We're gonna make America great again. For Michelle. I need to chill, bro. But on a serious note, bro, like, if I ran for president, bro, it would be so much shit that I wouldn't want to fight for. Like, that would change. Like I'm not, like, I wouldn't say defund the, like, I'm gonna go on a tangent. So I wouldn't say, like, shit like defund the police or anything like that. Like, I do believe the police have a crazy amount of budget. But I feel like instead of defunding the police, I feel like those funds should be allocated into, like, more police training, psychological tests, making sure if it's a crisis situation, they have a psychological expert there, psychiatrist, just someone with that type of mindset instead of resorting to violence. Because there's a lot of people who have issues out here, mental issues, or who are not going to hurt nobody, but police may seem threatened. So I feel like there needs to be more training, background checks, psychological tests, scans, and all that shit to really, like, make sure your mental is there. And there should be safeguards against that too. I would definitely give women the right to have abortion, because as a man, I have no right to say anything. Because, like I said, I'm not pushing a kid out my dick hole. Because if I was, I would definitely be team abortion. If I could get pregnant, I am team abortion, but if I could get pregnant, oh, hell yeah. Abortion me, please, right now. I couldn't imagine pushing a big-ass, head-ass baby out of a tiny hole. That shit hurt. That shit sound like it hurt. It's just so much I would do differently. Like, bro, it's crazy. Like, I would make all minimum wage at least the minimum living amount. So, like, say if, like, I don't know how to explain this. And then motherfuckers be like, but if you raise minimum wage, then all the prices go high. No, it does not have to go high now. Because if you raise the amount of money people can spend, then the economy is going to boom. If everyone, think about this. I believe minimum wage is still like, let me check that. I'm about to I'm about to check it because I'm in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to check it for Pennsylvania. Yeah, the minimum wage in Pennsylvania is $7.25, which was set in 2009. Okay? You cannot live off of $7.25. Isn't fucking possible. And then you're like, but if everyone raises it, no, that's not how it works. Want to know how I'm saying that? Because say if you raise, everyone's making $15 an hour, like standard, alright? And everyone's starting to have more money to spend. Think about that. More money to spend means a boost in the economy, means more things are being bought. Come on. I feel like that's simple enough. I feel like that's just a simple thing. I don't know. That just might be my take, but we're gonna continue.
Decide whether you in your body want to keep and raise a child from your body.
You are arguing for the slaughter of human beings because you're pro-choice, and I'm standing here in
that's what I said.
Where a fetus could not.
So it's not a strong word.
It's really not. And but can I just finish my statement? We're standing here in defense of the children because they do not get that voice, because they do not have that voice because they are in the womb.
So then, are you going to adopt it? I'm assuming you will, right?
That's not an argument you can make because I am currently not in the financial place to adopt. But it is a choice that I could make to become a foster parent. The issue is that becoming a foster parent is something that you register with the state. It's not as easy as just saying, like, well, you can just one day become a foster parent. It is a long, tedious part that's expensive. There's tons of things that go into it.
I would also say, you guys had something to say as well.
You should have a voice in this discussion, but it's like the unborn don't have a voice. They're not yet able to have a voice, but they are still human beings with dignity.
They don't have dignity. I don't know about that.
I think we really need to sort of figure out what are we talking about here, because if abortion doesn't kill human beings, then no justification is necessary. However, if it does kill human beings, no justification is adequate.
I always say that if murder was happening at the rate that abortions happen at, it would be Armageddon. It is just absolute. Women, I think it's like a quarter of women will have an abortion in their lifetime. If that was happening, if an eighth of the population was being murdered, then it would be the purge.
Why do you think we're so distraught, though?
It doesn't affect you, though.
But it doesn't affect us.
Injustice anywhere
you wouldn't know.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice
everywhere.
Well, why is every single person, even if they are not under my jurisdiction, the oppression of that person is my business? And that's what it is.
I respect that approach.
This is, to us, it sort of sounds like we're saying it's like if you don't want an abortion, sort of just don't have one. But we hear it sort of in the same way. It's like if you don't like slavery, don't have a slave. You sort of hear it sort of in the same ways because it's involving.
That's my face.
Sort of
Why do motherfuckers always try to bring slavery up, bro? Why? Slavery is not the same as having abortions. The motherfuckers was getting whipped with chains. I'm pretty sure, I'm not trying to sound crazy, but I'm pretty sure if a slave could have abortion, they would have. They would not have wanted to bring no kid into slavery. Bro, slavery was worse than anything you could imagine. You being stripped and taken from your homeland, forced to have a baby that you never wanted, being sexually assaulted, R-word, all of that shit. Being whipped for just not moving fast enough. Come on. Don't bring up slavery again. Come on. That's my face. I'm like, what the fuck he talking about? And of course he's a white man. Come on. No opinion. Let's go.
of the dignity of a human person, like abortion and slavery violate the dignity of a human person.
So you're comparing abortion? I actually agree with that. I actually agree with that. I think that ties in nicely to this whole systems and foster care argument because
she's giving very much raccoon vibes. I'm not going to say the word, but she's giving raccoon vibes. Because what the fuck? Abortion and slavery is not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And the fact that you a black woman saying that shit is crazy to me, bro. I cannot respect you. I would never respect you, bro. I'm trying to tell you. That's a fucking insane statement to say. This bitch right here, she talking about, they talking about slavery and abortion is the same thing. I don't know. I got a few more videos to react to. Why? What's wrong? I'll go look real quick after this video.
At the time in which we were about to end slavery, that we should not end slavery because we don't have the systems. We don't have the systems ready for all of the slaves that will now be free. There's no jobs out there for them. They don't have any land. Oh, we need to keep them as slaves.
That's what I'm saying.
The right system. No, you don't get to degrade the dignity of another human being until you're ready for them to be here.
And black
until
people are
you're
still
ready
suffering
for them,
today.
Until you're ready. Until you are ready for them to live dignified lives.
Wait, can we? That's my face right now. Can we trade her for her? Can we bring her to the cookout and never let her step foot in a black social gathering ever again? Can we bring her to the? Can we bring this woman right here to the cookout? She's invited to any cookout I have. I promise you. If she want to come to the cookout, she can come every time. The other girl, that black woman, she's not invited. I'm not even calling her black woman because the fact that she's doing all this, she needs to stop. Don't compare slavery to abortion. It's not the same thing. And you gotta realize, people think motherfuckers have abortions left and right. Let's fact check. Let's see. How? Let's look at the data real quick. Says that in 2020 there were 14.4 abortions in the U.S. per 1,000 women ages 15 to 44. This data shows that the rate of abortions among women has generally been declining in the U.S. since 1981 when it reported there were 29.3. So y'all tell me abortions are declining now? So y'all making it seem like abortions are up in the rise. I want to see what motherfuckers gotta say.
That's unjust.
I want to touch on the prompt about the foster care system, and I just wanted to emphasize that for me, I didn't take into consideration the foster care. I don't feel like anybody is less than. I don't think that you're less than. I think me and you are entitled to the same rights. Of course, just personally, when I made my decision, it wasn't a matter of I don't want my child to go to the foster care or be adopted out. That wasn't the question. What I took into consideration, what my boyfriend and I decided together was we did not want to put me through the physical constraints of pregnancy without him, because my boyfriend, he's a very traditional Christian, and I'm no longer religious. I grew up in the Catholic Church, and I'm not religious anymore, but I respect his views, and he carries a lot of views that you have, but because of his consideration to me and his approach to the family structure, he knew that he was not in a position to take care of me in that vulnerable time. In the weeks that I was pregnant, it was very extremely hard for me. It was mentally and physically draining.
They don't talk about that.
It was to the point where I couldn't.
They don't talk about the drastic changes women go through during pregnancy. They don't discuss it. But you want a motherfucker to carry a baby they don't want. What you think that's going to do to a person's mental health? What you think that's going to do to the baby that they have born? Come on.
Not participate in the daily activities that one does, go to work, feed themselves, get out of bed. And it was very psychologically difficult in that short period of time. And we knew at that point that it was going to be a very demanding and laborious pregnancy had I gone through with it. But because of how he feels and his responsibility and his duties that he places on himself as a man, he wanted to make sure that experience of pregnancy, and when we do decide to have a child, I'm in a point where I can be cared for appropriately. Just the way I waited out, and again, it wasn't because on this aversion to the foster care. In fact, I feel like we should better resources for those children because they have every right to be here. I'm more so focused on whether or not, again, should the government enforce and place themselves in such a personal matter when it's a matter of people using their bodies.
I would think most of us in some regard agree with you. I can't speak for everyone here. I don't know everyone's like various political beliefs. I think most of us would agree with you, and that's why we're pro-life, is because we see it as that's what the government is doing to children in the womb. The reality that the government could have just, that because of the way that the government works and because of the way that the abortion system works, the reality that I just could be non-existent and not exist at all is horrifying.
But you wouldn't know.
My memory, my life, my genetic makeup, the people that fought for years to give me rights, that can all just be erased. It's horrifying.
But it would have never happened.
Exactly.
Like it happened and then like it was erased. Like
I was conceived. My mother had the option.
But you would never know.
Yeah.
Therefore, it could have happened.
Parents should be informed if their teen is seeking an abortion.
So when I was being sexually abused, my parents didn't know. When my rapist found out that I had a pregnancy scare, he was like, "I will kill you if this is the situation. I'll kill you." And I think that if I had gone into an abortion facility, as many girls and women have, and been forced by my rapist to have an abortion, I think that this is another, I guess, part of the system where mandatory reporting fails, as it has many times in abortion facilities, particularly in Planned Parenthood. Parents need to be informed if their child is being sexually abused, and because mandatory reporting often fails in this way, because Planned Parenthood is a business and they make money off of what they do, I think that it's really important for the parents at least to have this knowledge and to have this understanding.
Yeah, I think it's a really kind of tricky situation and topic to discuss just because there are so many, like there's such a breadth of situations that can occur and have occurred. And I'm so sorry for what you went through, by the way, but like that situation is really awful, and it definitely highlights how having parental oversight is good and important in certain situations, but also like there are situations where young people are in situations with abusive households, abusive parents, who, if they found out that that teenager, that child, was attempting to do something to care for themselves and to help themselves live the life that they need to, or for their health, or whatever reason they might have for doing it, they'll be prevented from seeking care of any kind. Not even just like...
Can you get your keys
They'll be
ready?
prevented from seeking any kind of sexual wellness care, health care, of any sort, because their parent is aware that they were looking for that kind of support.
And I'd like to go off of what you're saying. I agree full-heartedly that there are different situations where it could be dangerous for the individual to tell their parents, and that's why I think pregnancy resource centers, which is what we support, are such a valuable tool, because they have the right to put protections over this young individual or older individual. And if they are in an unsafe situation, they house them, they feed them, they get them a job away from the area where they are. You know, they do stuff to help, but also those situations and the situation of the child was conceived, that child still has value. So that's why I'm a firm believer in protecting both the mother and the child.
I mean, I would also like to say that, like, as much as young people don't like to hear it, and as much as I didn't like to hear it myself, because I had, you know, a messed up household, because I had a parent who was not a safe parent. I think that parents have rights. Uniquely, like the Ohio Initiative for Choice right now is trying to attack parents' rights, trying to make it so that people
It is a long video. I ain't gonna lie.
procedures
That's cause that's chat. That's only cause I keep pausing. We almost done with this video.
there have been
I'm gonna try not to
teenagers
pause
and young women who
anymore.
have died from abortion.
I just be talking my shit.
We have people that go, and
But it's people who've died from pregnancy. Come on, let's talk about it.
and abortion facilities, and we've seen, like, we've documented, reported to the state suspicious behavior of people bringing busloads of minors in to have abortions, and you know, it's one of those things that we just have to look at the reality and we have to address it.
There's actually statistics that say that the majority of women who have undergone sex trafficking report having more than one forced abortion, specifically saying forced abortion.
And we are against that too, right? We are against people being forced into abortions as much as anything else.
I think parents have an obligation to care for the child that they have in their care, and I think it is a parent's responsibility to support that child, of course. But then again, I feel like I'm speaking from a privilege of where I obtained mine when I was already a legal adult, so I didn't have to tell my parents.
Yeah.
I just know for me personally, because I went to Planned Parenthood to obtain my abortion, and even when I obtained my birth control or my routine screenings from them, some of the questions that they always asked me was, are you safe? Are you in a safe situation? Are you doing this because you consented to it? When I obtained my abortion, they asked me, is someone forcing you? And they have signs all over in the clinic telling them, or telling patients that they are obligated to report if you are being sex trafficked or abused in some way.
Yeah.
The reason I disagreed was because I believe the prompt said teens should have to come to their parents. I am acquainted with someone who just had an abortion who is the same age as us, and she did not tell her parents. She has yet to tell her parents.
Well, I think we're talking about telling parents before the procedure, particularly, because that has ramifications. I mean, I'm sure afterwards there's some ramifications, but I think parents, like I said, would have the right to know before you get the procedure.
I have a question. Because I think a lot of us are coming from the approach of like minors, but I'm saying it specifically with my case because I was already legally an adult when I had mine. Do you feel like even in cases, although we are teens here, I'm still legally an adult, should my medical information, now that I am legally able to obtain care on my own, because that's where I'm going to operate from, should, even against my wishes, should they be informed? Because I think for me, with such a sensitive topic, I want to go to them when I'm ready.
Yes.
Because I'm coming here now sharing my story, but I was not prepared to come out with mine because it's still something that I grieve with to this day. It's still something that my boyfriend and I, we still tackle with every day. But I just don't agree with the idea that even though I'm a teenager, I'm still an adult and I should still have my choice to not expose my private information to my parents.
Isn't that HIPAA?
Willing and able to make that
Doctor,
choice.
private client, whatever that shit is called. Health, I don't fucking know.
That, like, for an adult, you know, no, if you're a legal adult, you shouldn't have to tell your parents. However, I think we're specifically talking about minors.
Okay.
Not possible.
I think it's possible.
I think there's some ways to find some middle grounds.
Yeah, I think we already have here today on like certain parts of it.
But that's on parts of it, not on the abortion issue itself.
Thank you guys for your time and your vulnerability. Appreciate hearing news.
That was a good video. My gosh, I really got hyped. But